guys, and welcome back to this week's video. Now before I get into what this topic is going to be about, I have to apologise for my voice. Last week I had to cancel because I put my back out at work, just getting up from the desk, but sometimes that's just the way it goes. And so this week I ended up with a cold and I almost lost my voice but didn't quite lose it. But now I'm in the process of it coming back. A couple of days ago I sounded worse than this, but this is coming back, but forgive me if I have to cough or take some water or something. Again, that's just the way it goes sometimes. So anyway, this week's video, let's talk about that now instead. My health worries. Excuse me. This video is something I've been looking forward to for ages. It was something I planned to talk to you about right back at the beginning of last year, before I even had a YouTube channel, when I was just planning out some of the video ideas that I had in my mind to kind of bring to you. So this week's video is going to be all about crystals and how as a writer, and why as a writer I use them, which crystals I use. Before I go into my top 5 crystals, however, I want to point out that although I love crystals from an early age, I've always been kind of obsessed with them. They're beautiful, they're pretty, but I am in no way, I'm not a crystal practitioner, and anything that I say in this video is not meant as health, financial or career advice. I'm literally just bringing you my knowledge after years of research, from one crystal lover to hopefully another, and someone who's interested in this topic will find value in this video. I get a lot of my information from this book, The Crystal Bible by Judy Hall, and if you know anything about crystals, or if you're in the crystal community at all, you know that this lady is an exceptional resource. And what I've done is I'm going to link this book underneath this video, so if you are interested in crystals, you can go ahead and download this. I will let you know that it is an Amazon affiliate link, so I will get a tiny percentage of the money, but it comes from Amazon, it does not come from you. It will not affect you in any way whatsoever. But if you are inclined to purchase this book, then please check out the link below this video. Excuse me. Okay. Also, before I get going, I want to point out that you are going to be getting a Google Doc with this video. Please excuse the colouring; it is pretty poor. I didn't realise that my colour cartridge was on the blink until I printed out this document, and so these pictures don't do them justice. So if you want to go and check out how they look, which please do, because I put a lot of effort into it and it was a real learning curve for me to create something like this, then please check out the Google Doc, also linked below this video. So without further ado, let's jump in. Also, a little caveat before I start, so we're not jumping in just yet. The crystals that I've picked today, they are affordable and they are accessible, okay? Because there are thousands of crystals out there, and there are several crystals that will do the same, will support the same thing, so will support creativity or motivation or whatever. But obviously, some are more expensive than others. So the ones I've picked today, you can pick up relatively cheaply, and I don't know if you think size matters. It does not matter in the case of crystals. I will go into that when I talk about each of the crystals that I talk about. So now, without further ado, let's jump into this week's video. So my first crystal that I'm going to show you is citrine. Now this is a rather big piece of citrine, so it costs a fair amount, but you can easily pick up a small piece of citrine like this, and it will do the job just as well. So citrine is sunshine in your pocket. That's kind of like what it's known as. It's beautiful. It's a kind of yellowy stone, and it's very energizing and it's highly creative. It's also known as the stone of abundance. So if you're thinking about starting a business, an author business, say, for example, it's very good to keep on your desk. All of these crystals you can either wear or keep on your desk. It doesn't matter. You don't have to do anything special with them. Citrine is also very good at keeping you positive, giving you a positive mindset, absorbing negative energies and things like that. So I find it very useful when I'm suffering from imposter syndrome. I would just literally sit with the crystal in my lap or in my hand, close my eyes, take a few deep breaths, and just be with the crystal for a little while. And I usually find that the energy from the crystal usually calms me down, especially when with that one, with imposter syndrome, it's very good for that. My next crystal is carnelian, and this is a carnelian flame. Again, slightly more expensive, but a simple carnelian like this wouldn't put you back much. And I will link the places that I purchase crystals down below as well, and I'll talk about them later in the video as well. So this is very good. It's a highly motivational crystal again, and it's good for creative people. So as soon as I set up my office, I knew I wanted a carnelian, but I also knew that I wanted the flame because I just love that. I just love the design of that. I think it's beautiful. I also, when I'm writing, I wear a carnelian crystal. That one's got a Viking symbol on it as well. And I have crystals in my water as well. Maybe that's overkill, I don't know. I love crystals, so I'm not going to apologise for it. Carnelian's also good for building motivation, and I also find that very useful. I find it very useful for overcoming writer's block. So again, I would sit with this crystal, close my eyes and try and work through what it is that's stopping me from actually getting the words onto the page, and I usually find that helps to clear up, to unlock something in my mind and get me back going. It's not as simple as, oh, we'll just sit with it for 5 minutes necessarily. Sometimes you might have to do that a few times, and you may have to do it over a course of a few days. But eventually, I find that really helps support me in with writer's block and overcoming that. The next crystal is possibly my favourite all-time crystal. It's fluorite, and I just think I'm in love with the colours of this. I just love fluorite. You get it in various hues. I especially love the purple because purple's my favourite colour, and I just think it's beautiful. I've even got a cat-shaped fluorite, which is just about the cutest thing. I hope you can see that properly. Which is just about the cutest thing I've ever seen. But anyway, fluorite is very, very good for focus. It's known as the stone of students. So they often say that if you're researching or studying, keep a piece of fluorite with you, and you'll help you focus and help you concentrate on what it is you're doing. I often find that when I'm researching, I keep a piece of fluorite with me, and this one here is very good because this is a thumb stone, and basically what you do is it's got a little indentation. I don't know if you can see that. It's got a little indentation that you can rub your thumb in, and I find that motion just helps me to focus when I'm researching. So I'll have my pen and my books out and everything, and in my left hand, which I don't use for writing, I will just keep that and I'll just do that motion over and over again. And I often find that helps me to just keep my mind focused on the task I'm doing, the research and the notes I'm taking. So I would highly recommend fluorite. Obviously it's my favourite, so I would recommend that one. So my next crystal, the fourth crystal on my list, is orange calcite. Again, this is a big piece. I picked my bigger pieces because it's easier to see on the screen, but I do also have smaller pieces. I started with the smaller pieces because the smaller pieces are cheaper, obviously, but also they're more accessible to carry around with you. So if you take your writing elsewhere and you want to keep a piece of orange calcite with you, that is much easier to carry around than that. So the big pieces will stay in my office, they'll stay on my desk, they're there for me to come back to. But the smaller pieces, they'll come to work with me, they'll come to coffee shops or libraries or whatever in a little bag or in my pocket. And some people even keep them in their bras if you're that way inclined. I don't do that. I prefer keeping it in my pocket or in a bag within my bag, if that makes sense. So yeah, orange calcite is again a bit like citrine with the golden orangey colour. It's a highly motivating crystal, highly energising, and it really helps to unlock creativity. You may notice that most of these crystals are some form of yellow or orange. And that's because creativity is in your sacral chakra, which is your orange chakra. If you want to research this, go ahead. There's loads of information out there. You've got 7 chakras, and the second one up is your sacral chakra, and that links to your creativity. So all the yellow and the orange, these sort of orangey crystals will link to that. So things like carnelian, orange calcite, things like that. It will give you a positive mindset, positive outlook on your writing as well. And I also think it's an uplifting crystal. So when you're having one of those tougher writing sessions, maybe something bad is happening or you just can't find the words, this is something good to keep with you, just to make sure that your writing session is going well. And the last crystal, I thought I'd lost one. I haven't, it's here. The last crystal I've got to show you is Tiger's Eye, which is beautiful. See, filming in front of a window is great most times. It's great lighting for me, but when I'm showing you crystals, it's not so great. Especially when I want to show you how beautiful they look, which is why I recommend you go and download that Google Doc that I mentioned earlier, because those pictures do show them in a much better, you don't get any light shine from my window. So this crystal is very good for creativity. It's also very good for keeping your mind clear as well, so it's good for bringing mental clarity to a writing session. It's also a stone of courage, so if you are finding it difficult to sit down to tackle a certain scene or a certain part of your story, it's also good to have here. I also use it with my business as well, so if there's something that I'm trying to do with my business that I'm resisting for whatever reason, like updating my website, for instance, this will sit with me then, because that's something that I find quite scary, for want of a better word. So having something like this that will bring me courage, and wearing it on my wrist, as you see here, will help me no end with that, I believe. So yeah. So that's my top 5 crystals. I also I hope from that you can use all of them, you can use one of them, you can use a few of them, it doesn't matter. You don't have to use all of them. Maybe having them all on my desk is a bit overkill, but I love them, so, you know, it's whatever works for you, really. But yeah, so as I say, most of my information that I get comes from the Crystal Bible by Judy Hall, and she's written there's loads of these, there's 5 or 6 of them or something. But I also use some apps. So one of my favourite apps is called the Citrine Circle, which I know you can get on. I have an Android phone, and I know you can definitely get this on the Google Play Store. And it basically gives you A to Z of all the crystals. They upload regularly. They update regularly, should I say. You can, it's free to use. There are obviously, you can unlock certain paid advantages, but I don't do that. I just use the free version, and I find that more than enough. Yeah, so you can like all the crystals that your favourite crystals, if you like, so you can collect those in a quick reference guide kind of thing. I've linked this app down below. No, I haven't. Yeah, I will link this app down below. I also use an app called Crystalize, which again, similar type of thing, lots of crystals. There are some crystals that you can't access because I'm using the free version, but take it from me, unless you're a real aficionado with crystals and you want to know everything, the most common ones, the ones you're going to use as a beginner or as an intermediate, they're available to you. So yeah, I hope from this video you can take something away from it. If you decide to purchase any, actually, speaking of purchases, I've got 2 places where I like to purchase my crystals from. They send good quality crystals, and they send with good time as well, so you're not waiting forever. And that is the Psychic Tree, which is based here in the UK, and Zen Gems, Zengems, Zen Gems. I'll link both of those down below. So if you were interested in purchasing any crystals, I'm not affiliated with them. I don't get a cut of anything. They are just literally me sharing the love of crystals and these websites and these companies, because I've bought from them before, I trust them, and if you are going to, it's not always easy to find a crystal shop in your area without travel, and it's always hard when you're buying online to know if you're getting good quality crystals, but I know from experience that they do send good quality crystals. This fluorite was purchased from Zen Gems, so yeah, I don't think I've got anything. I think this one here was purchased from the Psychic Tree as well. So they do send very good quality crystals, and like I say, you're not waiting forever for them to be sent either. So if you are interested in purchasing any crystals, see the links down below this video. And I hope you find something enjoyable out of this. Maybe this video will help you to begin your own crystal journey. Don't forget to download that Google Doc down below if you want some more information, or you just want a quick reference guide. I've also included all the links to the websites and the book that I mentioned there as well. So you've got all those links in there too. So that's it for this week. Next week I'll be back with my March reads. I will be covering what I've read in February and then going what I'm reading in March. So yeah, if you like this video, please like and subscribe. If you know another crystal lover out there, then please feel free to share this video as well. Don't forget to subscribe, ding that bell to be notified for any upcoming videos that I release. And until next week, I will see you later. Have a good week. Bye. Again, sorry, I forgot to add on the end of the previous section, that if you want to see more videos about crystals from me, or videos about how to care for your crystals, then please let me know that in the comments, and I will happily make more crystal videos for you in the future. That's it. That's all I've got to say. There will be no reappearances from me. So until next week, see you later.